You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Imaging Services, Zingit Solutions, Universal Tractioning Systems, Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Chiro Thin, Everest Coaching Systems, Chiro Moguls, Rhino Coaching, Chiro Matchmakers, Chiropractic Jobs Online, and Bax Max. Let's hustle.
Hey buddy, welcome to Chiro Hustle. This is a sponsorship edition, and today we have Pete Goldman with the Zone School of Healing. I'm going to flash up his Zone School of Healing down here on the bottom of the screen. Before we get going into this, there is a link above there that you guys should click on to get on board with this movement that Dr. Pete has started. He's coming in from San Francisco, the Bay Area, and I am coming in from Grand Junction, which is the Grand Valley on the western slope of Colorado where no one lives. And I moved here, why, Pete? To hear the birds chirp. But let's dive right into something. Most people know out there that I've been in this intense state of healing. And let's talk about this idea that we were discussing off camera, which is divine protection. And I know that that will probably resonate with a lot of our audience today because a lot of people are out there kind of searching, they're lost.
Well, the way it came up was, Jim had mentioned to me, as a lot of he talked about subluxation and people who don't like that word. And, he was telling me that a lot of people support him, but some people were really upset with what he said. And, he's only human. It affected him emotionally and it manifested in his body, a little pain. But what I told him is I believe in divine protection. So the way I kind of got the idea was around 1998, and I'm not going to go into the details, but I'll just say that in 1998, a patient who was very, very, very ill contacted me and wanted to come across the country to see if they could get their life saved. And, there was just certain aspects of the whole interaction, which a lot of people most people wouldn't even know how to handle it, but certain aspects of the situation, people wouldn't have wanted to deal with it. And I just said, look, this person, this person's life is on the line, and I'll be fine because what I'm doing is what I believe to be right. And I just started accepting this idea of divine protection, doing what I do. I'll be divinely protected. And it's been very helpful for the last 21 years or whatever it's been. So I said, Jim, you're saying and doing what you believe is right. You have divine protection. If anyone doesn't like it, that's cool. Let them move on.
Yeah. I think that's so impactful because a lot of times, like I said, people are lost out there. They don't have their own thoughts and ideas for themselves, and they just kind of go through the motions on a day-to-day basis, worshiping money, worshiping busy, and they don't realize that they have to worship a higher power that protects them. And I think that divine protection is something that I carry with me strong. I just spoke out at Chiropractic Rocks, and I opened it up with the line, I want to thank God for this opportunity. I want to thank my team, and I want to thank my mother. And I think I didn't even care what anybody else picked up from that whole talk, as long as they knew that I was thankful and that I was protected with divine protection. So I think that that's a very amazing topic that we just discussed. But let's talk about this whole idea of pain game. Many of you guys know that are watching out there. I'm dealing with a pretty severe SI sprain. And it's really debilitating and hurting my ability to thrive to my absolute best. But let's talk about this pain game and how sometimes people manifest pain in their body.
Well, when people listen, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I think I'm a pretty good source because, people fly into me from 20 different countries and, driving four hours each way to see me. And you don't know a lot of chiropractors, MDs, acupuncturists, so have people flying into them from all over the world and driving, 4 hours each way for 5 minutes with them. So I think, when I'm saying some stuff, you could pay attention. So what I'm going to say is that when someone's in pain, usually I'm not talking about someone who's like working on their roof and they fall off their roof. Of course, they're in pain because they fell off their roof. But almost everyone who's in pain, it originates emotionally. So I said to Jim before, I said, he made this speech about subluxation. A lot of people gave him some grief over it. Well, not a lot of people, but some people gave him some grief, although plenty of people supported him. And basically from birth till 7, the concepts in our subconscious are formed. So from birth till 7, everything that happens around you, positive, negative, in between, those concepts are all essentially locked into your subconscious. And then when you're an adult, different things happen and it stimulates those old ideas from childhood. So for example, I'm just making this up, but let's say, I don't know, let's say someone hated their mother. It happens, sadly, like their mom wasn't a good mom and they had a lot of resentment toward their mom or whatever. And now they're an adult and they deal with a woman because basically your idea of your mom forms a lot of your concepts about women in general. And then along the way, you interact with some woman in some way and she behaves in a certain way and it stimulates all these old childhood concepts in your subconscious about women. And you probably won't see the situation very clearly because you're seeing them through the ideas of your old concept, and it might disturb you and it might manifest in your body. So if a patient comes into me and they're in pain, I mean, like I said, if they fell off the roof, they fell off the roof. I get it. I got to put them back together. But almost anyone who comes in pain, it's based on an emotional thing, which they may be aware of or not. But like I said, outside of a severe physical trauma, like someone crashes on their motorcycle or something like that, all pain starts in the emotional level and manifests in the body. And of course, as a chiropractor, I'm going to do my thing to deal with the physical manifestation, which is pain in their body. And, like D.D. Palmer said, chiropractic is physical, mental, spiritual, body, mind, soul. And if you understand how to address the metaphysical, meta meaning beyond, so beyond the physical, you can be a real doctor, real healer, and be a true holistic healer. Because most people use the word holistic, they have no freaking idea what it means, and they use it incorrectly. Because people say like, "Oh, I go to this holistic chiropractor." Oh, really? Why are they holistic? Oh, well, they're holistic because no drugs, no surgery. It's just subluxation relief, all natural. Well, I'm sorry to say that's not holistic. I mean, it's good. That's natural physical healing, which is a beautiful thing. I'm glad they're doing it. But holistic is body, mind, soul, whole person, physical, mental, spiritual, body, mind, soul. If you can address the whole person physically, mentally, and spiritually, you're a holistic healer. If you're just doing chiropractic, which is great, I'm thrilled for you. Subluxation relief is fantastic. That's natural physical healing. But mental and spiritual, addressing the whole thing, is whole person holistic, because you, whoever's listening to me right now, you are not your body. You're a soul that just has a body. So if you're just addressing the body, you're just addressing the effect. You've heard of cause and effect. The body is simply an effect, but the cause and the causes lay way beyond that.
Yeah, I think you touched on some really important things there, and I'm just going to put my spin on it. What I learned early on in my education within the chiropractic space was there's physical, chemical, and emotional stresses. And, and those are the causation of subluxation. And that's why I went on that rant a couple Mondays ago, and I was telling people, hey, I'm going to divide the room with this one. And it put me under some attack, and it got some people not in agreement with me. And the quickest way to make friends is to agree with them. The quickest way to make somebody that's a detractor is somebody that disagrees with you. So I was in agreement with what I believed as historical tenets of this beautiful profession of chiropractic. And I went to bat for the chiropractors. And it wasn't popular with people that are confused about what chiropractic is. And hey, I have no qualms about people having their own ideas. I have no qualms about people having their own identity. But when it comes to something that's bigger than them, a chiropractic profession, I think that they should pay reverence to the forefathers that came before them that established the chiropractic profession, and quit trying to manipulate what the words are that we use in this profession and manipulate down to attacking people that stand for something that's of truth. And I think that when people are in the dark flow state of reality, they see somebody that's standing in the light and they want to tear that person down. And I think that when we talk about above, down, inside out, we talk about subluxation based chiropractic. Those are the truth warriors. And those are the people that stand with me. And anybody else that doesn't, they stand alone over in the darkness. And they are the ones that are, here we go. they're backbiting. They're biting at our backs because they can't stand in front of us. So when the opponent backbites, that means that they're behind us and they're taking shots at us, man. And I tell you, whenever any of these detractors see me at one of these events I go to, they won't come up to my face and tell me that same stuff. So, that's living in the light. And that's what happens when people are less than you. They want to attack you from the backside. And you being a fighter, you know that the guys that jump into the arena and the ring or the octagon or whatever it is, those people that do that, they have pride for each other. They have respect for each other, and they would never go after somebody from the backside.
I agree. So, as far as that, I just teach what I teach. And if people are interested, that's great. And if they're not, it's no problem. If someone really has a problem with it, come visit me. We'll discuss it in person.
Yeah. So let's talk about this concept now that is historical, that is a chiropractic reference is ADIO. Let's talk about above, down, inside out, and why it's so important for people to understand when they get their zones cleared, what it does for them.
Well, it's really cool. Like a lot of other types of healing, there's this idea that something from the outside has to come inside to create the healing. But it's nice to realize that the human body, when it's aligned and balanced, can do amazing things. Now, one thing that I teach in the zone school is how to contact and direct innate. Most chiropractors have no clue about this. They just think, well, innate's there and, they'll do what it's got to do. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that because there are many people, everyone has innate in them. And obviously, a lot of people get sick and die at a very young age. So innate is not enough there. And then you might say, wait a second, but if you relieve subluxation, then innate can do its thing. But unfortunately, a lot of people get adjusted and they have innate in them and they get sick and die very young. So if you know how to contact and direct innate, which I definitely will teach you in the zone school, then you can get healing results that the world will call miracles. With that said, I don't want to get too much on the school right now, but to get back to your specific question, yes, above, down, inside out is a beautiful concept. And it's a great feeling to know that when someone comes into you, even though they've tried medicine, they've tried herbs, they've tried acupuncture, they've tried many things and failed. Not to say that that's not great, because there's a lot of herbalists who do amazing things, a lot of acupuncturists who do amazing things. I'm not saying chiropractic is better or worse. I'm just saying that if they've tried many things and failed, and you realize this power is in them, and you can align their body in a certain way to let that power flow amazingly efficiently, then healing is really limitless.
And this goes back to the idea of these chiropractors, call them nervous system doctors. And, if we're going to make a direct impact on the nervous system and we're removing subluxation, that is above, down, inside out care. And I think that a lot of times people, they want to rah, like I'm a nervous system doctor and I do this and I do this way. But really they're coming into it, like you said, a lot of the times when people come to a chiropractor's office, they come into it for some type of a physical ailment. And they don't come into it saying, hey, can you just check my nervous system and make sure my body's functioning the right way? These people are coming in, like you said, on their intake forms, they're right. And yeah, I have headaches, I have neck pain, I have back pain. And then these chiropractors are like, yeah, I'm a nervous system doctor. But there's a disconnect between the conversation that they're having with that patient and with their own belief systems. And what they're doing is they're treating a symptom rather than making sure that the body's cleared of subluxation.
I couldn't agree more. So here's the deal. I don't know. And I always try to say this in the nicest way possible, so chiropractors realize that I love them, which I do. So I'm going to do my best. Okay. So here's the deal. So many people who are very enthused about being a chiropractor, like they go to DE or they go to CalJam and they come back very pumped up and they are immersed in philosophy. And I love that. And they'll say things like, I'm a nervous system doctor, like Jim just said. Maybe they'll go to a cocktail party or they'll be at a bar or they'll be at like a dinner with some friends. And they're like, hey guys, I'm a chiropractor, but do you realize I'm a nervous system doctor? So that's great. I understand that. It's beautiful. Here's the disconnect that I see. And I'd love for you to join my school so I can help you. People say they're a nervous system doctor, and I'm not saying you're not. But then you go to your office and you see 40 people that day, and every freaking one of them came in on their entrance form, like why they came into you. They came for neck or back pain. So something's not right if you're saying you're a nervous system doctor and everyone's coming to you for neck and back pain. Now, I know if you're a chiropractor long enough, you adjust thousands and thousands of people. Of course, you're going to get your miracles here and there. It can't help but happen. Or not even miracles, but oh, this person got adjusted and their sinus infections went away. And this person got adjusted and their period cramps went away. And this person got adjusted and their digestion improved. Of course, chiropractic's a beautiful thing if you adjust enough people. However, at the end, you might even explain wellness. They come long enough, they understand the wellness of chiropractic, they start coming more often. It's great. In my office, Jim's been there. If you interview everyone sitting in my waiting room, why did you come to Dr. Pete? Like, what did you write on your entrance form? Like, why are you here? Most of my patients come to me not for neck and back pain. Here's an example. I have a woman who came in about 3 weeks ago. Chief complaint. This is a chief complaint. Like, she wrote on her entrance form, constant gallbladder attacks, was told by an MD she needed her gallbladder removed. Not immediately, but they said she probably needed her gallbladder removed in the next couple months. Chief complaint, Dr. Pete, I need you to fix my gallbladder. Balance me out. I want to keep my gallbladder. I don't want to get it removed. Yeah, no problem. Actually, I adjusted her last night, and she's like, I haven't had a gallbladder attack in 21 days. I'm like, of course you haven't, and you won't have any more. So that's what I do. Or people who have had like strokes before they met me, they had a stroke, and they're like debilitated. They're like a vegetable, and they come in my office because they're telling me I tried acupuncture. I had like hyperbaric chambers, which is what MDs will do for post-stroke victims. I did other chiropractic, nothing worked. Yeah, no problem. And they come for a few months, and it's like, did you even have a stroke? And Jim met one of those people in my office. Mm-hmm. Now, not to say that musculoskeletal stuff is not addressed. For example, I just did a Facebook Live of this a week or so ago, but I have a guy from Malaysia. He actually owns a very big jiu-jitsu academy in Malaysia. I'm very known in the fighting community. So this guy heard about me. He was in Malaysia. He hurt his neck very bad. He went to the doctor there, and the doctor said, look, you need to get C2 through C4 fused, and you have to stop jiu-jitsu. He's like, yeah, but that's what I do for a living. I mean, I have an academy. I teach jiu-jitsu. The guy's like, you got to stop jiu-jitsu, get C2 through C4 fused. He didn't want to do it, so he went to a few more doctors to get second and third opinions. Everyone's like, dude, we're looking at your MRI. You need to get your neck fused, and you have to stop jiu-jitsu. He showed his MRI to a few chiropractors, and when the chiropractor saw his MRI, they're like, we're not touching your neck. Like, we're not. I was like, dude, just come in. He flew in to see me. This is actually a year ago. He flew to see me, fixed his neck up totally, went back, never got any surgery. His neck's fine, winning tournaments, teaching at his academy. And then he just came about a week ago for like a yearly tune-up, flew in. Like, listen, when I say fly in, these people are not saying, hey, I'm going to be in San Francisco anyway. I heard about it. These people have no freaking reason to be in San Francisco. They're flying in for a week of healing to get better. Anyway, and we did a Facebook Live last week. His neck's perfect. So don't get me wrong. The musculoskeletal that come in, we get better results than you'll see anywhere. However, most people come in for non-musculoskeletal. So you want to be a real nervous system doctor and do what you say, join the Zone School of Healing. And here's the deal about the Zone School of Healing. I'll just make this clear. It is a 100% money back guarantee.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Imaging Services, Zingit Solutions, Universal Tractioning Systems, Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Chiro Thin, Everest Coaching Systems, Chiro Moguls, Rhino Coaching, Chiro Matchmakers, Chiropractic Jobs Online, and Bax Max. Let's hustle.
So it's only one of two things will happen. You'll either join the Zone School of Healing and say, this is the best decision I've ever made in my healing career, which, by the way, I've heard many, 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 many times from my students. Or you'll say, I saw Dr. Pete's interview with Jim. It looked pretty compelling. But when I joined the school, it really wasn't for me. It's not what I expected. I don't like it. Good, get your money back. Like, we charge your credit card a certain amount, and then if you don't like it, we'll refund you that amount. It's not like
immediately.
Yeah, immediately. There's no risk. We don't play games. So join the school and either be a real nervous system doctor like you say you are, or say, hey, Dr. Pete, this wasn't for me. Don't even explain it to me. Just ask for the refund. Here it is. We have 340 students worldwide. I've given 7 refunds. And most of them weren't like pissed off or anything. I had one story. This just cracks me up. I said this on a couple of interviews. This is the one that's the funniest. This guy called me at my office. Usually I don't call my office for a refund. This guy called my office. So I called him back. He's like, hey, I'm in the zone school. I want a refund. I said, oh, what's up? No, I didn't say what's up. I said, yeah, no problem. Just I'll connect you with one of my assistants. We'll issue you a refund tomorrow. He's like, well, I feel like I owe you an explanation. So I said, okay. I mean, I didn't need one, but he seemed like a nice guy. He wanted to tell me. I just finished. I worked that night. I was alone in my office. I was about to leave and lock the door, but I was going to talk to this guy for 10 minutes. No problem. Okay, why do you want a refund? He goes, well, actually, I'm a retired chiropractor, and I practiced for 30 years with real success at a great practice. But I kind of missed the vibe and the healing and the innate. So I just wanted to join your school to get back in the vibe. I said, cool. He goes, I loved it. I learned so much. I loved every minute of what I learned from you. I wish I knew this stuff when I was practicing, because I already had a successful 30 years. It would have been 10 times more successful in results of healing. But wow, it was just such a great experience. And I was kind of waiting for him to say, but, I don't know, I offended him or something. I don't know. And he kind of just paused. And I said, okay, I'll give you a refund. But what, you sound happy. Did I miss? He's like, well, I'm retired. I can't really use this. So I just want a refund. So I was like, all right, I'll give you. I mean, it's kind of weird, but I was like, yeah, I'll give you a refund. So that's the kind of refunds I've given, even the people who get a refund are not exactly upset. But
typically, Pete, when people want refunds just because they haven't done the work, they don't make time to study, they don't make time to build that confidence. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you next is Zone School. What it provides to people is something that gives them confidence as a practitioner. And I always told people this: if there's a chiropractor with money problems, I don't want them adjusting me. If there's a chiropractor with technique issues, I don't want them adjusting me. If there's a chiropractor out there that has familial problems, I don't want them putting that force into my body. So I know that what you're doing is you're helping train people to give them the confidence to be a great practitioner. But before we get into that topic, I just want to thank everybody for being on with us today and watching so far. If you guys are finding value in this, hashtag value in the comments, and just go ahead and comment in there where you guys are watching from so we know who's watching with us today. And if you're watching us on replay, please hashtag replay into the comments there to know that we got you on replay. But let's talk about this confidence thing. And was I pretty spot on there when I said that? Like, do you want a chiropractor adjusting you, Dr. Pete, that has money problems, familial problems, or any type of confidence issues with their technique?
I wouldn't let a large percentage of chiropractors lay a freaking hand on me. However, I get adjusted once a week all year round. I got a great adjustment yesterday, man. I get adjusted once a week all year round. There's a lot of spectacular chiropractors out there. And there's a lot that, I said what I said. So as far as confidence, people are always amazed by my confidence. Like, it's not that I'm a confident person or not. It's just that it's kind of like gravity. Like, we're just familiar with gravity. Like, I don't really have faith in gravity. I just kind of know how it works. So if I drop this off a cliff, it's going to fall. It's not like I'm like, okay, I'm going to remove my hand. I have a lot of faith. Let me just bear down and really have faith. No, I know how gravity works. For me, that's how healing works. No big deal. When people come to me with these, whatever, I mean, for example, Justin Tuck was a very famous NFL player. He played for the Raiders. And when he was with the Raiders, he came to me and he said, hey, Dr. Pete, I get stingers all the time. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he goes, well, I get stingers every game and every practice. You hit your helmet and it shocks down your arm. He's like, I've been getting adjusted for my whole life. It's not, working. I said, look, Justin, I can't speak for what was happening with whatever. I said, let me adjust you once a week through the season. You're not going to have any stingers. I got to say, Justin, I don't know if Justin Tuck tunes into Chiro Hustle, but Justin, if you're watching, one of the better NFL players in the last 10 years, right? He got adjusted every week. The guy never missed. And at the end of the season, when the Raiders, were done and he was packing up, I actually went to his house that night. He, obviously he's a very wealthy guy. He lives in this beautiful apartment building in San Francisco. I made a house call because, he's my buddy. And I go, Justin, let me ask you a question. How many stingers did you get this season? 0. He has 0. He told me he had 0. Not one. Remember, he used to have stingers in every game and every practice, then 0. So was I shocked? I said, Justin, I'm thrilled to hear it, and I'm 0% surprised. Because to me, it's like gravity. I know how healing works. That's a musculoskeletal thing. And like I said, the woman who was told she needed her gallbladder removed and told me last night, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, of course it's fine. I'm thrilled to hear it, but I'm 0% surprised. So listen, I don't give stitches. I don't do emergency medicine. If someone has a burst appendix, don't come to me. I don't know what to do. If someone needs stitches, don't come to me. I don't know how to give stitches. But outside of emergency medicine, yeah, I got it pretty much all covered.
Well, this brings up something I shared with this chiropractic student that I had an interview at Johnny Reuter the other day. He's now at Life College, and he was asking me some questions. And I said, hey, I think everybody should have a 2-doctor paradigm, one to keep you healthy and one to save you from dying. And I was like, I want both on my team. And that's where we have to create this division within the chiropractic profession is if you guys are out there and you want to medicalize chiropractic, go be an MD. But don't try to sell out chiropractic for your own shortcomings of weakness in your own practice and your own career. And I think that's what's happened. And it became popular with all these weak ass chiropractors saying, hey, let's medicalize the profession because we can make money like MDs. Well, go be an MD and leave the chiropractors to struggle as they were before you decided that you had to come in and change the whole dynamics of this beautiful profession. So that's my stance on that, man, is if people really want to medicalize this, hey, there's plenty of medical schools out there. I'd be happy to have you enroll to where you could get that credentialing to where you don't have to change the profession of chiropractic and taking chiropractic out of the chiropractic colleges. I think that's a travesty. And
well,
Jim,
what comes to mind as you say that, and of course I stand behind you totally, is Epictetus. If anyone has ever heard of Epictetus, he was, I believe, a Roman slave who got his freedom like 2,500 years ago, and became kind of the father of the Stoic philosophy. I think he was the teacher of Marcus Aurelius. But anyway, I read a lot of Epictetus back in the day, and he helped me quite a bit. And one thing Epictetus said is, you can control what you do, but you can't control what other people do. So at the end of the day, chiropractors are going to do what they do. Politicians are going to do what they do. Medical doctors are going to do what they do. Chiropractic school presidents are going to do what they do. I can just control what I do. So I'm going to walk in my office whenever I'm working and help people with everything under the sun. I'm going to have the Zone School, which has 340 students or so, on the way to tens of thousands worldwide. And, that's going to be the contribution I'm making. And what other people do, hey, what can I do? It's like, even like Jim, like going a little back when you said like you made that subluxation speech and some chiropractors were like, hey, who the hell are you? I mean, dude, let them do what they want. Have a nice life.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny, like you can see when people make Facebook comments and stuff, when they're so pissed off about this, they're bitter, angry, miserable people. So if you want to be bitter, angry, and miserable, enjoy yourself. You know what?
Just don't attack awesome people.
Yeah, and so or attack me, fine, have fun, but it doesn't make a difference. So if you're so happy with what you're doing and so confident, hey, I'm happy for you. Go do it. But if you are someone who is a chiropractor saying, no, I want to get better results. Dr. Pete gets amazing results. I mean, people fly into him from freaking all over the world, drive 4 or 5 hours each way to see him. Most people in his office are coming for non-musculoskeletal stuff. He only uses his hands, a flat bench, and 3 to 5 minutes with a patient. I'm curious what this guy's doing. He has 340 students who are blown away. I'm curious what this guy's doing. Then join the Zone School. Jim has a link. I don't see it, but it's up. He said
up there.
So Jim has a link. Click the link, join the Zone School. Like I said, either say, man, this is the best decision I ever made in chiropractic, or just say, not for me, get a refund. There's only 2 choices. So I would welcome you all to join it. I can stand behind everything I say, and I'll prove it to you. Just join the Zone School. The way the Zone School works is you join the Zone School, you get it. If you join it right now, in the next 5 minutes, you'll have this. You get immediate access to instructional foundational videos that I've made. You have lifetime access to those videos. Then you have immediate and lifetime access to 33 hours of live trainings that I've done with my students. I mean, come on, you get 35 hours the minute you sign up. Then every Sunday at 1:30 California time, you have 8 weeks access to Sundays live trainings with me where you have video and audio privileges. You're with a lot of other students asking me questions. I train you 8 Sundays in a row. And then after that, we have a certification phone call. Make sure you understand what's up. We add you to our list of certified zone practitioners on the Zone School website. We send you a certificate. And then we have an advanced program, which is not necessary, but it's awesome. So I recommend it highly, but it's fine. You're fine with or without it. And then I do live events. I taught a live event in Atlanta, taught one in Phoenix, teaching many more live events in the future every 3 months or so. They're optional. You don't need the live events, but the live events are only for Zone School students. If you're not a Zone School student, you can't come. It's only for, now why do I do that? Because if you showed up at a live event and I started talking, you would know what I'm talking about, because there's so much foundation in the Zone School that you need to understand what I'm going to do at live events. So that's a Zone School. I can't recommend it enough. I'll prove it to you. I can't even, whatever I say now doesn't even do it justice. It's 100 times better than I just said, but I don't know the words to tell you how great it is. But ask any of my students. Don't ask me. Find any of my students and you'll ask them.
To me, Pete, it's very simple. Live and learn and get on a winning team, build your certainty in what you do, and help more people. And I think that that's the biggest thing is there is a huge fail rate in chiropractic. And a lot of times these people are failing because they don't know how to get people better, or they don't know what to do. And somebody was asking me recently at one of these events I go to, and they were like, so what do you like best about chiropractic? And I said, well, I like it that it makes me feel better. And they're like, well, it can't be that simple, right? I go, no, the most reason why people go to see you is because they want to feel better. They don't care what your philosophy is. Like I said, you don't have to have high level of philosophy to your patient. You just got to make them start to feel better. I go, you have to have high level of philosophy inside of you. And that's the difference between knowing your audience and creating a messaging for yourself or creating the messaging for someone else. People come to you not because you're going to like hit them over the head with a green buck and heal them. They're coming to you because they want you to tell them what's going on. They want you to tell them that you can help them, and then they expect for you to deliver the goods. And then what they do is they exchange their income and their hard-earned dollars to you to support you in your endeavors to help more people. And I think that that's a huge confusion right there.
That was well put. So I'm not just saying that to be a polite interviewee, but that was well put. And I've said it for years that when a patient comes to you, they don't care what technique you do. If you talk about philosophy, they're suffering. They want to get better. And if you can help them get better, you're doing a great job. And I think a lot of chiropractors, sadly, they put their philosophy in front of a patient's well-being at times, and you never want to let that happen. You can have your philosophy. It's a beautiful thing. Help the patient.
And people don't come into your office because they want to see it decorated like D.D. Palmer's original office in Davenport, Iowa. They want to come in. They want to see it modern. They want to see a system that works for them. They come in because they want efficiency. They don't come in because they want to come to B.J. Palmer's private office or D.D. Palmer's private office. They don't need to see how much you raw chiropractic. They want to see something modern. They want to see a system.
On that note, like Jim said, and I agree, patients want to heal. And there's some division in chiropractic. Like there's certain groups that say, hey, we shouldn't call them patients, call them practice members or whatever, or don't even call yourself a doctor or call yourself like a team. Listen, do whatever you want. The thing is you want to help your patient. That comes first. But by the way, just want to say that those who say, hey, I don't want to call it patients because I want to get away from the allopathic model. So I get it. They're saying, look, we don't want to be like allopathic model because then we don't want to call the people who come, we don't want to call them patients. Okay. Guys, I got news for you. D.D. Palmer called them patients. B.J. Palmer called them patients. Johnstead called them patients. Thompson called them patients. Fred Barge called them patients. So if you want to get away from the allopathic model, I got news for you. You're getting away from the chiropractic model. Now, again, I don't want to get into debate about that. You can call your patients whatever you want. Clients, practice members, doesn't make a damn difference as long as you help them get better. But at least know the reason you're doing it. You're like, no, I'm not going to call them patients. I'm getting away from the allopathic model. Man, that's the chiropractic model as well. So no big deal. I'm just pointing that out. Call them whatever makes you happy. As long as they heal, everyone's good.
Well, I know we're coming up on the edge of our time together today. Last question for you is kind of self-serving because I don't actually ask too many people this question, but why have you become a contributor and a supporter of Chiro Hustle?
It's funny, Jim, like I don't need to advertise nothing. I mean, I've been in practice for years. I've never spent $1 advertising my practice. I'm strictly referral based. I've never taken health insurance. I have standing room only when I'm working. Of course, when I opened the zone school, a year and a half or whatever it's been ago, of course I did Facebook ads I had to advertise because I had to get the awareness out. But I'm not really someone who spends money on like advertising stuff. I just like Chiro Hustle. I mean, I don't sponsor nothing. Like I've been offered to sponsor this, sponsor that, join this. I don't do any of it, but I pay Jim every month to be a sponsor. I just like it. I just like the vibe. I haven't really given it too much intellectual thought. I just kind of go on intuition in life and intuitively I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pay this guy every month, to be a sponsor. It's good. I like this. So that's what I can say.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing with our audience today. I think that a lot of people don't realize the amount of work that it takes to put on one of these Facebook Lives. And last year we did 365 interviews. In the past 2.5 years, we've done 700 interviews. And we do bring the chiropractic truth to the masses. And that's why people support us. Even if they don't know why, whenever you support us, you support chiropractic. And whenever you support chiropractic, you support the future. And if we're going to be the megaphone and the mouthpiece for the messaging of chiropractic, because we're not going anywhere, we're only getting stronger. We're getting more organized. We're building better systems. And the reasons that we're able to do that is because guys like Pete Goldman say, I don't know why I'm supporting the guy, but that's the real antithesis of our success. Is we just keep on putting out better quality content. We keep on driving the line forward, and we've put our line in the sand, and we told people where we are. And if they're with us, they're with us. If they're against us, then they know who we are. And even if we didn't make all the biggest fans when I did my rant 2 weeks ago, you know what? They know who I am. They know where I stand, and they can build their own little posse that goes out there and does a better job than us, because there's nobody out there that will create more quality content than Chiro Hustle. There's nobody out there that will do more interviews, interview the chiropractor, the chiropractic advocate. There's nobody out there that can even touch what we're doing. That's why people willingly support us. And those of you that are supporting us, we love and appreciate you. And, I just know that what we're doing is very, very important to the future of chiropractic, because once I met Dr. John DeMartini, he once told me that chiropractic needs more media leverage, and that's why we've been relentless. And you know what, guys, today wasn't my greatest day of how I felt, but I still showed up. I still delivered the message, and I still brought on an impactful speaker with me, Dr. Pete Goldman. And you know what we did is we told you guys the damn truth. And with that being said, you guys are just one story away. Keep hustling. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.